I grew up in a rather remote cowboy area in the States, but I just, even as a young child, I just knew I would be a medical missionary in Africa. I have no idea where that came from, but it was just an awareness, yeah. And I've been at peace with that ever since. I've been a medical missionary, doctor, for about 42 years. I started off as a young doctor going overseas to Nigeria, then to South America. Over the years, I was fortunate to go to a very, very prominent medical training center and medical institution in the States for my own training called Mayo Clinic. It's a very famous place. While there, I was already starting using my vacation time to work with Mother Teresa, to work with the Anglicans in Haiti, working with Protestant groups in Guatemala, what have you, working with Southern Baptists in Nigeria during my vacation times. So it was an evolution, and then over the last 42 years now, my life has been as a medical missionary. Over the years in the different places, I was all involved in different Christian denominations, medical ministries. For the last about 30 years, I've been involved in ministries in Tanzania and then now up here in Kenya. One of the things that's been of a disturbance to me is that I can see some of our mission hospitals, frankly, are not where they should be at. So I spent a long time thinking that through, talking about it with others, what have you. And sort of what we've come up with. Medical ministry is as crucially important and has a definite role to play in society today as it always has. But the way you shape that medical ministry, the way you deliver it, the paradigm, the model, has to change with the times to keep it relevant. In the 1940s, 50s, religious sisters with medical training, many of them nurses, what have you, just a couple of them were doctors, came down from Europe. They came with their own funds, they came with their sisters, and they set up hospitals where people needed them. And these sisters did a wonderful job of a wholehearted giving to people. Remember, in the 1940s, 50s, there were very few indigenous Kenyans who were medically trained in any way. These sisters were people of their time who delivered medical ministry in the setting that was appropriate for where they found themselves and where Kenya was at that time. Times have changed. Today we have an abundant number of bright, young, very well-educated Kenyans, many of them in the medical profession, doctors, nurse, lab, x-ray, pharmacy. It's been my privilege to meet many bright young Kenyans with a fire in the belly who want to serve the country, who want to serve their brothers and sisters. These bright young professionals want ownership of their labor. They want voice, they want They want to feel like this is their kiosk. Many of the private medical professionals tend to aim their practice toward the top 10, 15% of Kenyan society. Well, for heaven's sakes, what about the other 85%? So we created a Kenyan Christian community focused on medical ministry with special emphasis, not exclusive, but special emphasis at service to lower income Kenyan families. We do things on what lower income people can afford and maintain. So St. Mary's was created as a Kenyan Christian community. Every one of those words is literal. You may have noticed here at actually both of our hospitals in Nairobi as well as Rift Valley, everyone who works at St. Mary's lives within the compound. That's intentional, that they receive free housing. Because the core element is to be a Christian witness as a community. So we created a basic Christian community. We work together, we play together after work, we socialize together. The kids grow up within the compound together. It really is a community, a supporting community. And that's another thing that a lot of bright young professionals appreciate, is that sense of not only ownership but belonging to something greater than themselves. Much of medicine today is decoration. It's maridari that really has nothing to do with the quality of the medical care you're giving. One of the things we've noted is the collective economic power of the poor. Because we're seeing 350,000 people a year, that gives us a lot of leverage with different manufacturing companies, what have you, local, to produce quality medicines at an affordable rate for lower income people. It makes no difference if you're making a huge amount of profit off of one patient or making a tiny, tiny little bit of operational profit off of a huge number of people. At the end of the day, it's the same, but in our way of charging the lowest fees we absolutely have to, we attract many people, and it does cover the costs. Yeah. So paradoxically, the amount of, or the kinds of equipment, our laboratory facilities, the caliber of bright young Kenyan professionals that we've been able to recruit and welcome into our family, it's amazing. So there's very little correlation between how much you pay for medical care and the quality of that care. Anyone is welcome at St. Mary's, but the way we do things is aimed at what lower income persons can afford and maintain. Christianity is a healing religion. And I don't mean body versus soul versus mind. No, we're an integrated entity made by God. I don't think there are different pieces of us, what have you. It's been a wonderful life. I've never had to work a day in my life. Every day it's just been fun and a joy to get up in the morning. And I believe that's a real gift from God, yeah.